That is our difference of belief as to what happened to Jesus Christ with the rest of the Muslims. This is our difference with the rest of the Muslims. So you should learn from your murabbis, from other elderly Ahmadis, the arguments in favor of our belief from the Quran, from the Hadith. And you should be so sure of your beliefs and the supporting evidence that whenever a non-Ahmadi friend of yours, erstwhile there must have been many non-Ahmadi friends of yours, if they ask you, what do you believe in this? You should be able to answer them. If you are satisfied yourself, then you can answer them also to their satisfaction, I hope. So this is a long, slowly building program and education program. And in general, you should improve your conduct in relation to your friends. They should see in you a noble boy who is a good ambassador of Islam. Correct? Thank you. Now you understand English very well. Do you also speak Bangla? Very well? So why don't you come occasionally, if you can, possibly, on some weekends and participate in our television program. If you can translate from English to Bangla, you can ask for some cassettes and translate them into Bangla and fill those cassettes in Bangla translation. And that would also help you in learning more about Ahmadiyyat. Right? Good. Please. You are Mansoor Shah's son? No, I'm sorry. Whose son are you? Who's your father?
Chaudhry Imtiaz.
Huh? Chaudhry Imtiaz? Yes, please. The style of your face was very close to the style of Mansoor Shah's sons, children.
The question is that at what minimum age are we allowed to do Hajj?
क्या क्या है कुछ नहीं समझ आई.
At what minimum age are we allowed to do Hajj?
There is no minimum age as far as optional Hajj is concerned. As far as compulsory Hajj is concerned, compulsory in the sense that it is obligatory on every Muslim to perform Hajj once a lifetime if the passage is safe and if financially he can support it. So that age is adulthood. When you reach the age of majority, when you become an adult answerable in the sight of law for your actions, then this Hajj is compulsory. Below that, it's optional, and even a child carried in the lap of his mother can perform Hajj along with the mother. Okay? Would you like to perform Hajj? Would you like to perform Hajj?
Yes.
And are your parents planning to go to Hajj? No? So when they do, you just tag along, okay?
Why does it say angels?
Why can't we see angels?
Angels. I'm seeing an angel. You are an angel to me, an innocent person. You are of an age group where you don't commit any crime, any sin. So this is angelic, isn't it? All children are like angels. Good children, I mean. The nasty, mischievous children are not angelic at all. But you appear to me like an angel. So I am seeing an angel and you are not. Huh? You see, now coming to the question, the real question I mean, angels are not made of that material of which we are made. Our physique is different, the material of which we are molded is different, and it is opaque. And when something is opaque, it means the light cannot go through it. Then light reflects, and that is how you begin to see images. Right? If some if you see a glass, a sheet of glass, which is so clear and so well polished, clean, sometimes you'll be surprised that you just miss it altogether. Sometimes in some window shops, there is such a clean glass that people fail to see it and just strike into it, you bump into that glass because they don't see it. Why don't they see it? Do you know? Because the light is not reflected back from that glass. It passes through altogether. And because it passes through, it doesn't come back, so your eyes don't see anything. So angels are made of a material, spiritual material, which does not reflect light. So nothing strikes them and returns to us. So you can't see them. Can you see air? Is there any air here in this room or not? You are breathing air, aren't you? Can you see it? Why not? That is what I am talking about. I gave first the example of glass, but now we turn to air, the air. The air in this room and everywhere is only visible when it is very dusty. What you see is dust, not the air in fact. But when it's clear, then you don't see air at all, yet it is there. Why don't you see it? Because the light does not strike the air and return to your eyes. So you can only see those things which reflect light. You understand? No. So when you grow up, first you should understand why you don't see air. Why don't you see the air? That you understand? You know the air, what I am talking about? What is the air? See, you move your hand, what you breathe, right? So when you grow up, and when you are capable of understanding this question as to why you do not see air, then at the same time you will be able to understand the question as to why you do not see angels. Okay? Till that time, goodbye. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam.
Who was the first man to be born?
Who was the first man to be born? I'm sure it was not you. The first man was born so long ago that some say it was hundreds of thousands of years ago, that we don't know. We don't know the history of man beyond even 10,000 years. In fact, the history of man, even a few thousand years ago, is very confused, and very, very little do we know of what was happening at that time. So how could we know who was the first man? Because the first man appeared on earth a few 100,000 years ago. So you have asked me a very difficult question. I accept defeat. You understand? What I say is, you have asked me a question where you have defeated me. I cannot answer it.